Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Core GT3 Road to Rio Challenge Series. We are here for round 8 at Road Atlanta here this evening. And you can see the guys are just now starting to grid up for the 20-minute sprint race here this evening. They just wrapped up qualifying, so let's jump right into the starting order for tonight. Starting on pole with the fastest lap in qualifying is going to go to Mason Smith there with a 118.5. Carl Handwerk will start in second. Jimmy Covert in third. Mark Thomas in fourth. Adam Jones starting fifth. Nick Brown in sixth. Matthew Goering in seventh. Starting eighth, we have Kevin Foster in ninth. Steve Santana starting 10th. We have Paul Butler. Starting 11th, Sean Goodwin. And in 12th, Thaddeus Marshall. Starting in 13th, we have Dane Simpson. In 14th, Abhi Visuvesam. In 15th, we have Tim Thompson. And starting 16th, John Crane. And rounding it out there in 17th this evening will be Nicholas DeVos. All right, just in a few short moments here, we'll get started with the race here this evening. Real quick, let's check out the point standings as we head into round 8. Only 3 more rounds remaining after tonight here in the series. Mason Smith currently our points leader there with a pretty healthy margin over his teammate Nick Nickerson. Carl Handwerk there in third. Adam Jones in fourth. Chris Hamilton in fifth. And in sixth, we have Kevin Foster, Mark Thomas 7th, Nick Brown in 8th, Matthew Goering in 9th, and Jimmy Covert there. Round out your top 10 in the points here this evening. And as always here in the GT3 series, the format tonight will go 20-minute sprint race, which we are about to start here. Then they will fully invert the field for the 60-minute feature race. Fuel set at 50% tonight. No quick repairs. I do apologize. That is an error there. So they will have 0 quick repairs. And of course they have unlimited tires here. But very rarely do we see them take tires here. As they are underway here. Mason Smith leading us down to the green flag. And a new rule here tonight. Single file restart here on the start. And they are not allowed to pass before they get to turn 1 here. But now the game is on as they round through turn 1 there. Mason Smith already under pressure here from Carl Handwerk. Ooh, Carl Handwerk loses the rear of the car there. Going to hit the wall. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of damage from that, but he is able to keep going as he goes off the runoff area there. But he's going to fall all the way back there to 8. So Mason Smith now has a 2.2 second lead to Jimmy Covert there in second. Now Mark Thomas here. Great battle for third. Got Adam Jones there on the outside in that orange and black Mercedes. And also Nick Brown there in the mix, currently in 5th. And we see Matthew Goering there in the Porsche, right there, right behind him there in 6th as they battle it out here on this opening lap. Heading down the long back straight here now. Great passing opportunity, heavy drafting zone here. We know those Ferrari cars are extremely fast on the straights, and the Mercedes do struggle here. So we'll see what they can do here this evening and handle that these long straights here on this track as they head through turn 10 here and down through the final few corners here to complete lap 1. Looks like Nick Brown here is going to hold on to 5th there from Matthew Goering. Oh, he's going to run wide there as soon as we say that. Now he's going to lose a few positions there. Just gets a couple tires in the grass, and that is all it takes right there. As he's now under pressure here from Kevin Foster, one of those Ferrari drivers out here tonight. As they head through the S's. This is one of the most difficult passing zones right here through this track. It's very narrow. Oh no, Kevin Foster there loses the rear of the car right in front of us. And he does keep it out of the wall. But it's going to take a bit there for him to get going. You can see he's actually going to have to reverse it there, and he's going to come out all the way in the back there. Meanwhile, out front, Mason Smith running away with it here. 4-second gap back to second place. Jimmy Covert here with a very tight battle here, second all the way back to 4th. You've got Mark Thomas here in the red and white Porsche in 3rd with Adam Jones there sitting in 4th. Let's right on board Mark Thomas here as he chases down second place Jimmy Covert there. Gets a great run on him all the way up to the rear bumper there. As they head up through the S's here, through turn 5 and head down through turn 6 here. Very tricky section of the track here, but this is probably the most important section right here as they enter turn 6. They're immediately going to head through turn 7, a right-hander here, and it is all about getting the power down early here. As you can see, very long, the longest straight here on the track, heavy drafting zone here. As Mark Thomas, we expect him to draft right up to the back of Covert here. But boy, oh boy, that McLaren is fast on a straight line. Looks like he's running a low downforce setup here. Maybe the Porsche drivers here opting for a little bit more downforce. You can see he doesn't really gain on him there as they head down into the chicane, turn 10 here. And we're going to have to go check in on the battle here for ninth. You have Thaddeus Marshall there. He is battling it out there with Dane Simpson in front of him. And then right behind him we have Steve Santana. This is your battle 8th through 10th. Dane Simpson here already having a great run in the sprint race. He's up 5 spots since the start of the race this evening. So working his way up through the field. He is our biggest gainer so far here. The next person we're going to have to go all the way back to Nicholas DeVos here in 13th. He's gained 4 spots since the start of the race. He's currently chasing down a BV Subasam there, right in front of him there in the Lamborghini for 12th. These 3 up front here, 2nd through 4th, you have Covert, you have Thomas, you have Adam Jones, all running very similar times here. Oh, looks like Crane has had an issue here. John Crane looks like he has kept it out of the wall here, but he's going to lose quite a few positions. Let's go back and check the replay. Ooh, just going to get 2 tires off there through the S's, and that is the most difficult section of the track there. You just get it wrong in one of those corners and you are setting yourself up for a wild ride. As you can see there, he does a great job keeping it out of the wall though. Mark Thomas here starting to put the pressure on Covert here for 2nd. Again, looks like Thomas is very quick through that section of the track here, but that McLaren just has some top line speed here tonight with a low downforce setup on that car. And Thomas here very quick through the slower sections, but losing out on the top line speed. We'll see what Adam Jones here can do as he's caught up to the back of Thomas here as they get ready to head down the long back straight. Looks like Jones gets a good exit there out of turn 7. But Thomas with a better exit there as he is starting to gain here on that McLaren of Covert for 2nd. But just look at the top line speed there on that McLaren. Even with the draft, Thomas cannot get up to him here in the best, probably the best passing opportunity here on this track this evening. Now Adam Jones here starting to make a move, put the pressure on Thomas. You can see he gets 2 tires off there in the final corner. Going to take a look up the inside, not quite there. As they head up through turns 2 and 3 here, very tricky section of the track. We know these Mercedes are fast here in these slower parts of the track, so is that Porsche. We'll see what they do here as they're running very similar times here. See Thomas there take a little peek on the inside, but just not close enough to make a move here as they head through turn 7. We'll see who gets the power down first here as they head down the long straight. Looks like they're going to be pretty even here, even with the draft. Oh, and there it is. Covert makes a mistake there. Goes off the track, so that is going to allow Thomas and Jones by. Also, Goering goes by there. Nick Brown makes it by, so Covert here is going to rejoin in 6th, but spins it again. And he is just struggling to get that car rolling here again as he falls back to 7th, potentially 8th here. Yes, 9th. So Simpson makes it by, and just an unfortunate mistake there out of Covert is going to cost him a 2nd place finish here, potentially in the sprint race. Now we'll see here what Thomas can do. He's currently 11 seconds behind our race leader, Mason Smith, out front by himself. But he is under pressure here from Adam Jones for 2nd. And I have to imagine just how much that draft was helping Thomas down this long straight that they are about to head down now. We'll see what kind of top line speed he's got without that drafting help, as Adam Jones here gets a great exit out of that final corner. See Thomas there being defensive, weaving down, trying to break that draft. Is Jones going to be there for a move down into the chicane? Ooh, late on the brakes to the outside there. Jones going to make a mistake, and that is going to cost him a bit of time. Not going to cost him a position, though, as he does rejoin there in 3rd. The car right behind him there is currently a lap down, so he's not fighting for position. Ooh, and Dane Simpson there with a mistake. Looks like he gets into the back of Steve Santana, and that's gonna he's gonna wait up there and give that spot back as Covert makes it by. But let's go back and take a look at that. That was down into the braking zone, down into turn 10, and just locks up the brakes there, gets into the back, and does the sportsmanlike thing there, gives the position back to him. But just an unfortunate mistake there. Probably won't be the last one we see here tonight. Checking in up front here as we're just now 10 minutes in, halfway through the 20-minute sprint race. Mason Smith, currently our race leader here, 12.5 seconds clear of 2nd place. Mark Thomas, who is about 2.5 seconds clear of 3rd place Adam Jones here. Matthew Goering here, only about 2.3 seconds back from Jones. And just looking at the lap times here, Matthew is turning some quick laps here, so you can see that gap start to disappear. I got it down to about 2.0 seconds there. Ooh, Jones goes off the track, and that's going to cost him a bit of time. He was able to collect it, but that is something we typically do not see here out of Adam Jones week in and week out here, making a few mistakes here tonight. Right on board Matthew Goering here, 4th place driver, as he chases down Adam Jones for 3rd. Also starting to see a good run here from Nick Brown there, currently in 5th, also laying down some quick laps. Looks like he was the 2nd fastest car on the track that time around. Only a few tenths off of our race leader's pace. So Nick Brown here starting to catch up to these two in front of him here. And with about 8 minutes remaining, we could see a pretty good battle here for 3rd. And this is your battle for 6th here. Looks like Jimmy Covert here starting to make a recovery run here. He's now to the back of Paul Butler. This will be for 6th here. As you can see, that gap's now down to about 0.3 of a second here as they head through the final section of the track here to start a new lap here. Looks like he's going to take a look up the inside. Butler not going to challenge him there. A smart move from him. I think he knows his race is not with Covert here. Looks like Nick Brown here shaving off a bit more time to that 4th place driver Matthew Going right in front of him. Meanwhile, Goring there a little bit slower that lap, so Jones extends his lead out to about 1.0 seconds here. Oh, and looks like Mark Thomas here has had a mistake. And that is going to lose position number 2 there for him. And Adam Jones and Matthew Goring and Nick Brown all going to make it by there. So Mark Thomas is going to rejoin in 5th. About 5 minutes remaining here. This battle for 2nd is starting to heat up there as Goring gets all the way to the rear bumper there, heading through turn 10. And it looks like he drives it in hard. Doesn't get a great exit though, but that gap is staying anywhere from half a second to 1 second here as they trade basically faster parts of the track. As now they're going to start a new lap here. 5 minutes remaining in the 20-lap sprint race. Can Goring get up to the back of Jones here? And I don't think anyone can catch Mason Smith, who's currently out front by 19.5 seconds here this evening, running away with that lead. He is in a class of his own here tonight, and I have to wonder, with that kind of lead, he has to be out here thinking about his strategy for the feature. We know he has the pace. What is he going to do for fuel strategy? I imagine he's testing that out right now, because we know these Mercedes cars have struggled every week with fuel strategy versus some of the other manufacturers here tonight. Mason Smith actually heading down pit road this time, so he made it to about the 16-minute mark there before having to head down pit road. We see Dane Simpson also down pit road as well. We'll see here. Adam Jones, has he been a little kinder on the fuel here as he stays out one more lap? Potential, he was having the pace he was having there with a little fuel strat, trying to save all the way to the end here, making a no stop in the 20-minute sprint race. Goring going to stay out as well. Nick Brown as well. So Nick Brown moves up into 3rd. Smith is going to rejoin here in 4th. Now we'll see what kind of pace this car has without having to worry about fuel here to the end of the sprint race. Only about 3 minutes remaining here. He's got about a 1.5 second gap up to 3rd place in Nick Brown. See leader Adam Jones there starting to catch lap traffic. Have to wonder, is he going to head down pit road this time, or has he been saving enough fuel? Same thing with Matthew Goring here, who's been hanging with Jones's pace most of the race here, and they both stay out yet another lap here. Meanwhile, Mason Smith has now caught up to the back of Nick Brown here. About 0.4 of a second is the gap as they head through turn 1 here, up through the S's. 2 minutes remaining here. Oh no, Nick Brown gonna lose the rear end of the car there and hit the tire barrier. Doesn't look like he's gonna receive too much damage, and he did have a pretty big gap there back to 5th place Thomas, so he will rejoin in 4th, but a costly mistake there is gonna allow Mason Smith on by for 3rd. And now he's got about 5.5 seconds here to make up to our 2nd place driver with only a 1.5 minutes remaining. So they will get one more lap here. And I do believe that's not enough time here. Rounding the final corner here, we'll see both of these drivers do stay out, take the white flag, so they are good on fuel to the end of the sprint race here. And you can just see Mason Smith there rounding the final corner here. He's got that gap down to about 4.7 seconds, but this is the final lap here. So far going here about 1.3 seconds off of Adam Jones. Just looks like he has the pace to stay with him, but can't reduce that gap down any further. Oh, you see a battle here for 9th. That is Thaddeus Marshall looking to make a pass here on Kevin Foster as they head down into turn 10 as he looks up the inside, late on the brakes. And we're going to see Foster here cross him over here on the outside potentially. It's going to be a drag race here down through the final corners, and it looks like Marshall here is going to have the edge, and he is going to complete that pass there for 9th. Well, Adam Jones here is heading through turn 10, only 2 more turns remaining, and he will take the sprint race win here this evening as he rounds the final corner here, crosses the line, takes the sprint race win. Matthew Goering there going to finish 2nd. Mason Smith coming in 3rd. It looks like he was able to shave about 2 seconds off that last lap. So had quite a bit of pace over the race leaders who were saving fuel. Nick Brown there going to cross the line in 4th. Mark Thomas in 5th. And we're going to see Jimmy Covert here as he heads through the final corner here. Going to cross the line in 6th with Paul Butler in 7th. Nicholas DeVos here is going to take 8th. Thaddeus Marshall still battling it out here with Kevin Foster. As you see, Kevin Foster looks to get him back here on this last lap as they head down the back straight, down into the heavy braking zone into turn 10, the chicane here. Is he going to be there? It's going to be tight, but looks like Marshall's going to stay ahead here. They head through the final corner. It looks like Marshall's going to hold off Foster there and take 9th. Foster takes 10th with Steve Santana here. He's going to cross the line in 11th. Wow, oh wow, that was a great sprint race there. A lot of action, but it's going to get even better here once they grid up for the feature, because they will fully invert the field. That is right. So Adam Jones, our race winner, will start in the very back, and it'll be exciting to see him work his way up through the field here this evening. So we'll get started with that in just a moment. The drivers have about a 2-minute warm-up session, and then we'll get started here with the feature. All right, the drivers are now going to grid up here for the 60-minute feature timed event here tonight. And it looks like the invert didn't work correctly on our scoreboard, but the race control will sort that out, so they'll manually do it. So we will go through this backwards here. So Sean Goodwin is going to start on pole, Carl Handwerk in second, Dane Simpson in third, BV Suvesum in fourth, John Crane in fifth, Tim Thompson in sixth, Steve Santana in seventh. Starting eighth will be Kevin Foster. Starting ninth will be Thaddeus Marshall. Starting 10th, Nicholas DeVos. And starting 11th will be Paul Butler. Starting in 12th will be Jimmy Covert. In 13th, Mark Thomas. In 14th, Nick Brown. 15th, Mason Smith. Starting 16th, Matthew Goring. And then starting dead last there in 17th, due to the invert, will be Adam Jones here this evening. All right, here we'll see them make their way around here and manually do that invert here this evening.
Green, green, green.
Ooh, and we've already got some cars there with some damage, unfortunately, as they stopped on the front stretch there to do the invert. Let's just go check in on those cars. Looks like John Crane may have a little bit of damage there. Hopefully it doesn't hurt him too bad here. See a little front end damage there on Handwerk as well. Meanwhile, as they make their way around here and pace around as the field gets grouped up, let's check out the schedule here. Only 2 more rounds after this evening, as next week we head to Monza, and then the finale will be the following week there at Interlagos in Brazil. And that will wrap up the 10-round season here of the GT3 Road to Rio Challenge Series. So you're going to want to stay tuned here as the points battle does heat up here tonight. Let's take a look at the points as we head into this round. Mason Smith is your points leader currently. Nick Nickerson in second, who unfortunately couldn't make the race this evening. Carl Handwerk in third, and Carl does have a great starting position here for the feature. He's going to start in second. Adam Jones in fourth, Chris Hamilton in fifth, Kevin Foster sixth, Mark Thomas in seventh, Nick Brown eighth, Matthew Goring in ninth, and Jimmy Cover there 10th in the points as they head into this round 8 here at Road Atlanta. We can see the drivers here. They're waiting on one more driver there to catch the field, as you can see on the track map, but they are going to head through the final few corners here. We're going to get this race started. 60-minute timed race here for the feature at Road Atlanta, and based on the fuel strategy we saw, we could see a 2-stop race here this evening, and it'll be an exciting one there. Can anybody pull off the 1-stop? That's going to be the question, as they do come around the final corner here, cross the line, and take the green flag. We are racing here as Carl Handwerk there in second, Sean Goodwin in first there. We head up through the S's here for the first time tonight in our feature race. Just checking through the field here. Looks like everybody making it through nice and clean. Drivers pretty spread out here for this opening lap. See Nick Brown here making a move on Mark Thomas here. That's the battle for 11th as he heads up the inside here through turn 6. And, ooh, it's going to be very tight there through turn 7. Can he get the power down, though? Because Mason Smith is right behind him. So Smith here is going to look to the inside of Brown as they head down into the chicane. So Mason Smith already working his way up through the field here as he's going to move up into 12th. He's got Mark Thomas in his sights next there. Here we've got a battle for 7th as we see there. BV Subasum currently holding off Thaddeus Marshall right behind him there in the McLaren. It does look like Marshall is going to make it by V. Suvasum there and move up into 7th. So good pass from him there as now Paul Butler is next behind him. Oh, we've got a driver off track. That's going to be Mason Smith there going there. Also going off, making contact with the wall. Very unfortunate there for Goring. Looks like he's got heavy damage. Looks like he's knocked the toe out of the car there as he's just unable to get it going there. Meanwhile, Covert here making a pass on Visu Basom as well as Foster making it by. On further back there, looks like Adam Jones has made it by Visu Basom as well with Mason Smith next up here. As we see Visu Basom there with trouble going through that final corner, so he's eventually going to fall back there to 13th. Here we've got a battle for our race lead here. That is Goodwin right in front of Handwork here as we ride on board our second place driver as he gives a challenge for the race lead. See the straight line speed advantage there that Ferrari has out front as he pulls away from Handwork down into turn 10 here. See Covert here in the McLaren. He's going to make a move on Adam Jones here, our sprint race winner. So Covert here showing his speed early on as he tries to outbrake him down into turn 10. Does get him cleared there. And a great pass there from the number 14, Jimmy Covert, as he moves up into 7th. Now Adam Jones here under pressure from Mason Smith. And we saw Adam Jones in the sprint race pull a fuel strategy move to win that sprint race. So I have to wonder here if he has a certain pace he has to maintain here to make this a one-stop race tonight. Whereas we saw Mason Smith come in the pits there during our sprint race, so I wonder if he's going to switch his strategy up or stick to a two-stopper here. Time will tell. As Handwork does make the pass here for the race lead, he makes it by Goodwin here, and he's going to move up into the race lead real quick. Check the replay and check that pass out for the race lead here. Making a nice dive up the inside there, clean pass. Goodwin giving him plenty of room. But now Goodwin is not done here as they head down the long back straight. Goodwin going to take a look up the inside here down into turn 10. But he thinks better of it there, backs out. And Handwork here is going to sail off into the lead. Ooh, and we've got a driver potentially off track here. Looks like it's going to be Steve Santana there. Looks like he just missed turn 10 there, probably locked up heading down into it. Let's check the replay here. He was battling with Kevin Foster here for 4th and just goes off the track there. Can't get it slowed down. And he is going to head down pit road here this time. Oh, Kevin Foster in trouble as well. What has happened to him? He's actually towed back to pit road. Let's check it out here on the instant replay. And he just went through turn 1 here. And it looks like he just stopped the car and just towed it back to pit road. So I'm not sure. Might have had some sort of issue here tonight, but it looks like he's going to be out of the race. Meanwhile, Mason Smith here has made it by Adam Jones, another Mercedes driver out here tonight. So Smith is up to 6, and he now sets his sights on the 14 there of Jimmy Covert for 5th. And we see Jones here going to make a move up the inside on Covert. He's going to complete that pass, so Smith's going to move up into 5th. Now we'll see if Covert here can hold off Adam Jones as well, or will he lose another spot on the same lap here. Now Mason Smith has his sights set on Thaddeus Marshall there for 4th. And with the pace that Mason Smith, oh no, Covert disaster right in front of Adam Jones. Looks like Mark Thomas going to also be involved there. And what an unfortunate turn of events here as they were heading through the final corner through the S's there. And looks like Jones is got a little bit of damage there as he made contact with the wall. But looks like Mark Thomas's car, besides a little damage on the front end, he looks to be good. And Covert, the one that spun there, with some heavy rear end damage there to that car. So let's go back and check the replay here of that incident. Oh, you could just see Covert there as he went on a narrow entry there as he was trying to take a look up the inside of Mason Smith. It got too much curb on exit and just lost the rear end of the car. We'll see that from Mark Thomas's point of view here as they went up through the S's. And you can just see Covert when he gets on the curb there as he's trying to lay down the throttle, just loses the rear end of the car. Nothing either one of these drivers here could do. See it from Adam Jones's point of view here as Covert just lost it right in front of him. Jones tried to stay off of him, but just unfortunate here. As we see Jimmy Covert down pit road, Adam Jones as well. Meanwhile, out front here, Carl Handwerk has a 2.8 second lead as we are just now 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes through the race here this evening. Sitting in second is going to go to Sean Goodwin, who started on pole here in the feature race. Dane Simpson here having a great run in that BMW. He's currently sitting 3rd. And Nick Brown here has just made a pass around DeVos down the back straight here. And Brown's going to move up into 7th. And you see Mark Thomas there trying to recover after being involved in that incident now. He's going to make a move on DeVos here potentially. As it looks like DeVos there going to run a little wide, so Thomas should be able to get it by him here, and he does. So Thomas is going to move up to 8th. Quickest driver on the track that time is going to go to Mason Smith, and he looks to be running about 2 seconds quicker than anyone else on the track right now. So I think he is dead set on a 2-stop strategy here tonight. I don't see him being able to make it on fuel to the halfway point with this kind of speed. He's running in the 119s. Everyone else running in the 121s here. So we'll see here as he's only about 1.8 seconds off of third place driver Dane Simpson there. And we can expect that gap to drop massively here with this kind of pace. See Simpson there struggle to get the power down as he loses the rear of the car, so it looks like Mason Smith here is going to take away third place from him here, as Simpson going to fall back to fourth. Now Smith has about 2.5 seconds to make up to our second place driver there, Sean Goodwin in the number 66 Ferrari. Mason Smith here, take a look up the inside for a second as he's going to complete that pass there on Goodwin. So Smith now has about 8 seconds to make up to our race leader, Carl Handwerk, out front. And here we see 8th place Mark Thomas as he's trying to chase down Nick Brown for 7th. It looks like he's a little bit quicker here that time by, so gap is currently 1.2 seconds up ahead of him. And we'll see if he can muster together the pace here he needs to start to recover some of those positions he lost after being involved in that incident. As you can see here, he's now got the gap down to 0.8 of a second, so very quick up through the S's there, much more quicker than Brown, as Brown is currently trying to navigate lap traffic here. Ooh, and just going to go check the replay here. It looks like Visu Vesum here in the Lamborghini has been involved in an incident. And just going to carry too much speed there through that corner, lose the rear of the car. He is able to get it back and on track and going again. And we still see Thomas here as he has that gap now down to 0.7 of a second. Right up in front of him, 7th place Nick Brown is who he's chasing down there in the Audi. We see 7th place Nick Brown is now caught up to the back of Paul Butler there, one of the Ferrari drivers. That's going to be for 6th here. It looks like Brown has a much better pace here, as he is about a second quicker that lap around. So we should expect him to be able to get around Butler here for 6 very quickly as they head down the back straight down towards turn 10. Take a dive up the inside here down into turn 1, and he is going to complete that pass. Mark Thomas is going to follow him through here. So now these two are going to continue to duke it out here for 6th. That is Mark Thomas there trying to catch up to Nick Brown here in the blue and orange Audi here tonight. Just looking at lap times there over the last 4 laps, looks like Thomas has been quicker by a few tenths, except for lap 11 here. So we'll see now without lap traffic involved. We'll see what kind of pace Brown has and if he can hold off Thomas here. As Thomas is very close going down the back straight. Thomas going to try to outbrake him here going down into turn 10, and he's going to have to avoid a lap car there, so that's going to mess up his crossover opportunity. So Thomas is going to have to fall back here and regroup and try again in another spot. Ooh, and they're very close there as they went through the first few turns there, and now up into the S's. And looks like Thomas here has plenty of speed through the slower section of the track, but Nick Brown looks to be quicker here on the faster parts. right, checking up on our race leader here, Carl Hanwerk. That gap is now down to 3.4 seconds back to second place Mason Smith here, and you can see based on the lap times here, Smith about a little over 1 second quicker here each lap. So Smith here is coming and coming very quickly, as you can see him just around through the corner there. Smith that time by sets the quickest lap of the race there with a 119.5 versus Carl Hanwerk's 120.8. So again, Smith a little over 1 second quicker here this lap, and that gap is now down to 2.3 seconds. But real quick, we're going to check the replay. Looks like Dane Simpson's been in trouble here, as he gets two tires off the track there and spins it down. Looks like he's going to keep it off of the wall. But is going to lose out on quite a few positions there as he tries to get that car turned around down there on the apron. Alright, that time by Mason Smith again, another second quicker here, as that gap is now down to 1.7 seconds. And it looks like Paul Butler here has just went off track, and Dane Simpson has went by. Let's go check the replay here. Yes, you can see there Butler running wide through the grass. That's going to allow Dane Simpson on by and up into 7th. Meanwhile, the gap up front here is now down to 0.8 seconds, 0.6 there as they head through turn 6. Down to half a second here as they head through turn 7, and 0.3 of a second. So Mason Smith is flying here, as he's now going to be up in the draft as they head down the back straight here. And I have to imagine with this kind of pace, he's going to be making a move down into turn 10 here as he looks to the outside. Hanwerk going to block the inside. But it looks like Hanwerk just does not have the pace here to hang with Mason Smith, as Mason Smith makes the pass for the race lead here. And we are close to the halfway point, 27 minutes complete here out of the 60-minute feature. So as long as Mason Smith here can maintain the race lead and make it to that halfway point before he pits, he can make it a one-stop race here. And I have to imagine that is the winning strategy here tonight. But of course, we cannot rule out a wild card show here for one of these Ferrari drivers. And it looks like the one that I'm looking for, Kevin Hollywood Foster, unfortunately is out of the race. That's the one we saw have an issue early on and had to tow back to the pits. So the man who usually pulls out the unthinkable fuel strategies is currently not in the field, but his teammate is Paul Butler there, so we can't rule that out tonight. Got a great battle here, heating up for 4th all the way back through 6 here, as you see that is Nick Brown there in the Audi right on the back of, that's Adam Jones, but Adam Jones is a lap down, so the McLaren right in front of him there is going to be Thaddeus Marshall. And that is your battle for 4th. And then right behind Brown here is Mark Thomas. see Adam Jones here pull to the side and allow these guys fighting for position to go by here, as Thomas thought about taking a look up the inside under braking. Oh, he's going to be way too late on the brakes, make contact with Brown, but both drivers doing a great job there. That could have been a disaster, but it looks like it's going to be okay here. Nick Brown's actually going to head down pit road this time, just a little shy of that halfway marker, so I have to imagine he's going to have to do a little extra fuel saving here in this second stint. Meanwhile, Mark Thomas here is going to move up into 5th and stay out here. He's now going to be chasing down Thaddeus Marshall here. He's currently in 4th. Meanwhile, Handwork now has fallen back about 3 seconds off of Smith and looks like he's dropping like a rock. Could he be out of fuel here? No, he does not head down pit road, so may just be saving fuel here. Not sure what his strategy is, but we saw him just lose out about a second there on the back straight. Meanwhile, Thaddeus Marshall here is now under pressure from Mark Thomas. The battle for 4th. As you can see, Thomas way later on the brakes there as he moves right up to the back there of Marshall and that McLaren. Looks like Marshall's going to head down pit road this time. Thomas going to make a late race decision there and follow him, as we are now officially at the halfway point here. 30 minutes complete out of our 60-minute feature. And Mason Smith is still out front by 4 seconds here. And we'll see if he's going to head down pit road this time, as he's now on the back straight, heads down toward the final few corners. And Smith is going to head down pit road this time. We'll see if Handwork follows. Handwork does follow here. So that is going to leave Sean Goodwin here, who's currently in 3rd. He's just now heading down the back straight into turn 10. We'll see what he does here, if he heads down pit road or if he tries to extend the stint. And he is going to head down pit road this time. So that is going to leave Paul Butler here in the Ferrari, who is currently in 4th. He has Dane Simpson right behind him. These two drivers are the only drivers that have not pitted here so far. And looks like Butler here going to head down pit road. So is Simpson. So that is going to be it. And every driver now has come down pit road for fuel. So Carl Handwork here actually makes it out front in front of Smith with an upset here and retakes the race lead. And I'm just looking, going to go check the replay here and see if we can see what happened. Looks like Smith just has a long pit stop there. Just looking at the times, Carl Handwork there had a 22-second pit stop. Mason Smith had a 29-second pit stop. So it's possible that Mason did take tires here and Handwork did not. So out front here, Handwork has picked up a bit of pace as he has extended his lead out to about 3.2 seconds here. Just going to take a look at the lap time difference here. And lap 23 is when they came down pit road there. So you could see that that is due to that quicker pit stop. But this lap there, lap 24, the out lap, Carl Handwerk 2.2 seconds quicker than Mason Smith. So I'm not sure if Mason Smith may have an issue here. Didn't take enough fuel, not sure what's going on, but he is about 4 seconds slower than his fastest time here tonight. Right on board here and see if we can tell what's going on. It looks like he's short shifting here, not revving the engine up. He's actually pulling the clutch in here toward the end of the straight, so I have to wonder if he thinks he's going to be short on fuel here, doing some massive fuel saving early on in this second stint here. You can see Handwork now out to about a 6-second gap here. And we do have to keep in mind the timer did start when the pace car pulled off, and if you remember, we had to do another pace lap to sort the invert out. And I believe that ate into about 5 minutes or so. So we really didn't get started until the 5-minute mark, which meant that these top two drivers here only made it about 25 minutes on fuel. So that may explain what we're seeing here. Mason Smith being very conservative, saving fuel early on in this stint, because he knows it's going to be very, very close at the end if you account for that 5-minute pace lap that they did. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like Handwork is worried about it at all, as he's running his normal race pace here, lapping in the low 121s and starting to pull away there, about a 5-second gap. Going to check the replay here. Looks like Thaddeus Marshall may have been involved in an incident here. Looks like it's going to be a self-spin potentially. And yeah, just going to catch too much curve down into turn 1 there. Lose the rear of the car. And he was able to get it going there. No contact for him. Ooh, and looks like DeVos here has just made a pass on Marshall. See Marshall back there in the background. So DeVos here is going to move up into 7th. And he's having a great run here this evening. Not a driver we're very, we see a lot in the top 10 here tonight, but he is running well within the top 10, currently 7th, and having a great run. Dane Simpson there currently running 6th in the BMW here. He has Adam Jones right behind him, but Jones is a lap down. Paul Butler here in the number 77 Ferrari, currently running 5th here, having a great run as well. And he's got a huge gap to make up to 4th place Mark Thomas, about 16 seconds there. Sean Goodwin hanging out here in 3rd. He's a massive 38 seconds behind 2nd place Mason Smith, but he has a pretty good gap back to 4th place Mark Thomas here of about 7 seconds as we enter the final 20 minutes of the race here, and Mason Smith has just picked up the pace. This is what we are familiar with now. He just lapped in the low 120, so about 1.3 seconds quicker than Carl Handwerk, our race leader. So it looks like Smith feels he saved enough fuel here in this second stint to pick up the pace. Oh no, Mark Thomas here going to head down pit road here for a second time. Actually, I do apologize. That is his first time pitting. No, that is his second time hitting down pit road, but he didn't stop in his stall. So not quite sure there. So Thomas is going to move back to fifth. Paul Butler here going to move up into fourth. So out front here, it looks like Mason Smith has backed off this lap. So he laid down a pretty couple quick laps there, got the gap down to about 2.5 seconds, and has now backed off again this lap. As you can see, that gap is now up to 5.2 seconds. So maybe Mason Smith here struggling with the fuel strategy. Gap now up to 5.9 seconds. Looks like Mason Smith here has picked up the pace a bit here this lap, so not really sure here what his strategy is, as it looks like he's doing a slow lap, fast lap, slow lap kind of strategy here. But he does shave off about a second there through the first sector. Meanwhile, great battle here for fourth. That is Mark Thomas, who we saw have that issue as he came down pit road. He is now right up to the back of Paul Butler here, and that's going to be the battle for fourth. Butler going to move out of the way, allow Thomas by. See that gap now down to about 4.5 seconds. So let's check in on the lap times here. These past couple laps, you can see Smith starting to pick up the pace there. He ran quicker that last lap by about a second. Looks like it's going to be even more here this lap. As we see there, Carl Handwerk turning a 120.7. Looks like Smith going to run about 0.6 quicker that time by. So So Smith here is starting to pick up the pace as we have 15 minutes left. Ooh, we've got a car off track there. That is Jimmy Covert there, struggling yet again. And you can see now heavy damage to the rear of that car. He's actually lost the rear spoiler completely on that McLaren. All right, we are now under 15 minutes left in the race here. And Mason Smith trying to chase down our race leader currently. Gap is 4.2 seconds. We know these Mercedes drivers every week here struggle with fuel. It just seems like these cars consume more fuel than the other manufacturers. And Handwork out front in a Porsche typically are very, very kind on fuel. So it's going to be down to the wire here. But Smith picking up a ton of time there through that section of the track. Gap now down to 3.4 seconds. And we can see that lap alone there, he was 0.8 quicker than our race leader, Carl Handwerk. So he is coming, and he's coming quickly. I just have to wonder if he doesn't overdo it here and burn up too much fuel and can't make it to the end. Mason there getting a great exit out of turn 7 down the longest straight on the track here, down the back straight. Just barely see Handwork right up ahead of him there as Handwork just now entering the chicane. Gap now down to under 3 seconds. And looks like Smith is going to be about 0.4 of a second quicker that lap. Handwork also picking up the pace there as he is getting quicker there. He ran a 1:21.0 that time. But Mason Smith there in second place has the pace. He's currently lapping down in the low 120s. And we haven't seen Handwork turn that kind of time all night long. Now Handwork has to navigate lap traffic here as they head down the back straight. You can see Mason Smith there now within 2 seconds here as we have 12 minutes remaining here in our 60-minute feature race this evening. And we know it's going to be tight on fuel here for Mason Smith. So it'd be interesting to see just how much does he push it here. When does he choose to make his move? He's sort of racing against himself here. He knows he has the pace, but it's all about that fuel strategy here tonight. See here, Smith's going to catch a lap car there of Butler in one of the worst places here through the S. It's very difficult to make a pass. Hopefully he can get around Butler here without impeding him too much. And it looks like he's going to have to ride behind him through the S's all the way to the end of them here. And you can see that gap grow now to about 2.4 seconds. So unfortunately Smith there losing out on quite a bit of time there due to navigating lap traffic. Now he is clear as they head through turn 7, and he can start to chip away at that gap. See Smith there making up a ton of time under braking down into turn 10 there. He gained about 3/10 just under braking as he got the gap down to about 1.8 seconds as he heads through the final corner here. And we are just now approaching the 10 minutes remaining here in the race this evening. And gap is 1.9 seconds here as they start this lap. Looks like handwork was about 2/10 quicker that lap, and that was the lap that Mason Smith had to navigate the lap traffic. And again, Smith going to catch another lap car here at the worst time he can through the S's here. Looks like he's not going to lose out too much time this time as he makes it by pretty cleanly. And gap is 1.6 seconds here. You can see Handwork there having to let off and do a lot of coasting here. So Handwork is struggling with fuel here. And Smith now going to have that gap down to under 1 second. As we have 9 minutes remaining. Gap now down to a half second here as they exit turn 7 down the long back straight. So Smith is going to get a bit of draft here down this straight. We know Carl Handwork's having to lift and coast at the end, and we expect Mason Smith here to make up a ton of time, potentially able to make a move here. And it looks like Handwork not going to lift and coast that much this lap, so Handwork might have been just saving a little bit of fuel there. And now he may have enough to really battle it out here with Smith. As we approach the 7 minute remaining here, 6/10 of a second is what separates the first and second place driver here. Handwork out front, Mason Smith chasing him down. We're right on board Mason Smith here as he chases down our race leader. We just heard Mason Smith pull the clutch in there and lift and coast. So that tells us Mason Smith may have overdone it here and may not have enough fuel to make it to the end. And now we see both drivers there lifting and coasting massively on the back straight. I think both of these drivers here are struggling with fuel consumption here tonight as we have about 6 minutes remaining in the race. Boy, oh boy, is it going to come down to the wires. That gap is now down to 2/10 of a second, and Mason Smith thought about making a late lunge there down into turn 1. But thought better of it. You can see here, this is really where Mason Smith shines in this section of the track as he gets right up to the back bumper there of Handwork. this one's going to be close here as they round turn 7. All you guys watching at home, go ahead and put in the chat here. Let us know who you think is going to be the race winner. Is it going to be Mason Smith? Do you think he has enough fuel to make it to the end? Or is it going to be Carl Handwerk here, who has been saving fuel this entire second stint? Looks like Smith here going to take a late lunge on the outside down into turn 10 here. Not going to be able to complete the pass this time by, as we have 5 minutes remaining here in the race. And they're going to be nose to tail here as they head through the final corner. Mason Smith here going to look to the outside through turn 1. Can Handwerk hold him off here? Very difficult to make a pass there on the outside, not the preferred line. So Mason Smith here going to fall back into second. And that is going to be the quote of the day, I believe, there. As one of our viewers typed, Carl might pull off some handiwork here tonight, and he may just hold off Mason Smith, as we have 4 minutes remaining as they head through turn 7 here, down the long back straight. And boy, oh boy, these drivers are racing hard, but also having to save fuel here. And we didn't see any lift and coast there out of Smith that time, as he closes right up to the back here of Carl Handwerk here. And Carl Handwerk actually dropped a couple tires off the track there on the exit. Didn't slow him down here, as the pressure is on. 3.5 minutes remaining here. Looks like they're going to get at least 2 laps in. And you can see 3 lap cars up ahead, lap traffic to navigate. That's just going to complicate things even more here for our top 2 as they battle it out for a position. You can see Handwerk impatient here, wants to make it by as quick as he can. That's Visa Vasum up there in front of him. And these guys are actually racing for position, so they are not going to want to yield here to this battle, as they are fighting for position as well in points. Will we see a late lunge here? No, Handwerk is going to block the inside there, be late on the brakes, but he's got a car right in front of him there. He needs to get by. And that driver does a very good job getting out of the way. That is Santana, I believe. Oh, and a late block there from Handwerk on Smith as they head down the front straight, down into turn 1. And Smith, again, not able to pull off a move there on the outside through turn 1. Gonna have to regroup here and pick another spot, as we only have a little over a minute and a half remaining. Looks like they're gonna get one more lap after this. See Smith here very quick through this section of the track, pulls right up to the back bumper there of Handwerk, and they now head down the long back straight here. Mason Smith very close, within 0.2 of a second here, has the draft, and his Handwerk, he is going to block the inside here, but can Smith outbrake him down into turn 10? He has the advantage. Handwerk going to be late on the brakes. Handwerk going to miss the turn. And that is going to do it there. Smith is going to make it into the race lead as he comes around the final corner here and takes the white flag. So now a 1.5 seconds here separates him from Handwerk. And we have to wonder here, does Mason Smith have enough fuel to make it around to the end here? see if he lifts and coasts here. And he does not, so he may have enough fuel here to make it to the end with a very quick lap. And that is probably going to seal the deal here as Carl Haymark is 1.6 seconds behind him currently. And just some good, close, hard battling there, and Haymark just missing the braking point down into turn 10 on the previous lap. Mason Smith here heads through the final corner for the final time tonight. He's going to cross the line here and take the race victory. Oh boy, did he earn that one. Carl Haymark there coming in second with Sean Goodwin there finishing third. And what a great battle to the end there. Great fuel strategy from both drivers there, and some great tight racing there in the last 10 minutes or so. That is what we love to see. Paul Butler there going to cross the line in fourth. Mark Thomas going to finish fifth here. Dane Simpson now rounding the final corner. He's going to come home sixth. We have Nicholas DeVos here in seventh. Nick Brown going to finish in eighth. Visa Vasem there going to finish ninth. We'll bring up the official results here this evening. Mason Smith taking home the race win. Carl Haymark finishing second. In third, we have Sean Goodwin. In fourth, Paul Butler. In fifth, Mark Thomas taking home sixth. Dane Simpson in seventh. Nicholas DeVos in eighth. Nick Brown in ninth. We have Abi Visuvesam in 10th. John Crane finishing 11th. Adam Jones in 12th. Thaddeus Marshall 13th, we have Matthew Goring, and 14th, Steve Santana. 15th, Jimmy Covert, finishing 16th, Kevin Foster, and Tim Thompson there finishing in 17th. Now we'll give the drivers just a moment here to celebrate, and then we'll try to get a word here with the top three. All right, looks like we do have our third place driver here, Sean Goodwin, in the booth. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Hey, Sean, it's Kevin up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, man.
Hey, man, one heck of a run here tonight, taking it home with the third place podium position here tonight. I got to say, looking very strong early on there as you were running in the top three there most of the race, and we're actually doing a great job holding off, I believe, Carl Haymark there for a bit. Heading into tonight, it looked like it was a fuel strategy race for most drivers. Is that one of the things that you had to really keep in mind here, fuel consumption?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's the only reason that I think I got P3 and that I was able to actually finish the race. After about the 2 laps after the first pit stop, I was fuel saving the entire time. I was really letting off. Short shifting, only 75% fuel, coasting when I could, so that when I finally saw that white flag lap, then you'll see on the last lap versus the laps before that, I did much better. So, yeah, fuel saving was a big part of that because it was, for at least for a lot of the different cars, I think it was right at that point where you had to do two pit stops if you wanted to make it on full gas. But yeah, it worked out in the end, and I'm super stoked.
And it did work out for you there, taking home a great finish tonight in third. And hey, while you're here, any sponsors you need to thank or people you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, well, of course, I want to thank you guys, Soaks Tires Broadcast, for broadcasting, all the admins, Carl, and everybody else for running this league. I really appreciate it. Want to give a shout out to my 2 racing partners, Zabi and Steve. They had a rough night tonight, but they're my practice partners for sure. And I also want to give a shout out to Paul Owens for helping me out, and things with setups, and Paul Butler as well. So if it wasn't for that, I don't know that I would have had the speed that I had tonight early on.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations taking home that third place finish here tonight. And it was well deserved. And hopefully, we'll be able to catch up with you again next week.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, that's going to do it there for our third place driver, Sean Goodwin. Now let's get a word with our second place driver. We've got Carl Handwerk up here in the booth with us. Hey, Carl, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
I got you, my man.
Hey, man, what a run tonight. First of all, great battle there at the end. We thought you were going to be able to hold off Mason Smith there, but it looked like it was a very difficult race here tonight with the fuel strategy, having to save fuel while also, maintain that pace so you can make it a one-stop race. Got to ask you here, coming into tonight, did you know it was going to be a one-stop, or did you adjust your strategy as you went through the race?
No, we knew it was going to be borderline two stop, so we knew we had to save a little bit of fuel. Fortunately, the re-rack that we had to do manually because iRacing didn't do it helped us save a good amount of fuel, but you still had to save in the second half for us at least. But because of that re-rack in the beginning, I ended up taking 2.5 minutes of damage before we even started the race. So that's why Mason was able to just close on me so easily. I was driving with basically 3/4 of a car, so the fact that I held him off as long as I did, I'll take that.
Yeah, you guys had a heck of a battle there toward the end. We noticed that it looked like Mason was quicker there on that long straight. That was probably due to the bodywork damage you had, the aero damage on your car, I believe on the front end. But you were doing one heck of a job there, holding him off there. And it was going to be very close. Let's talk about the move down into turn 10. Looked like you defended on the inside there, and it was just going to be a battle of who was going to brake latest, and looked like you just braked a little too late there and ran off, and that kind of sealed the deal, didn't it?
Yeah, I got on the brakes when I wanted to, and I seen he still wasn't 100% on the brakes, so I had to kind of let off the brake a little bit and then get back on, and it was just, at that point, it was too late. And then coming on the track, I'm glad I didn't come over and wipe him out. I was trying to hold it over to the side as much as possible, and luckily he got around me because that wouldn't have been cool at all. But yeah, I mean that was kind of my last ditch effort. I figured if I could hold him off there, I'd have a chance. I mean, obviously he could still get a run on the last lap again, but yeah, like I said, I wish I would have had a full car to give him a battle because we weren't that slow. Yeah, I was turning some pretty decent laps myself, so the fact that I had to battle him with what I had, it is what it is. But I mean, he did what he had to do. He fought from the back, got up to me, passed me twice essentially. So yeah, congrats to him.
Absolutely. Well, while you're here, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to, or people you want to shout out?
Yeah, just the usual suspects: Joker Graphics, Wooden Nickel Woodworking. My teammate Mark Thomas, putting another great setup in here, and he's the reason I'm fighting here for podium every week, and he got a nice double top 5 as well. So shout out to him and everybody that watches us every week on Soaktars Broadcasting. Like I said, I appreciate everything you do for us. So we'll hopefully wrap up the season on a high note and carry it into season 2. And looking forward to it already.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. Not where you wanted to be, but nonetheless, good finish, great battle here. And hopefully we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane next week.
Sounds good, man.
All right, that's going to do it there for our second place finisher, Carl Handwerk. Now let's get a word with our race winner here tonight. We've got Mason Smith up in the broadcast booth. Hey, Mason, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
Yes.
Hey, long time no speak. We just spoke with each other last night with a great finish in the Premier Series. And yet again here, you take a race win here in the GT3 Series. Got to ask you, starting in the back, working your way all the way up through the field there with the invert, how did you do it? How did you navigate through all of those cars while also knowing it was going to be a fuel strategy race?
Well, being smart and being patient. These I mean, these guys, they of course race here mostly for fun and for points and stuff. And I was waiting until they make a mistake, which ultimately succeeded. And by the time it was just one car or it was Carl, I was able to run him down the first part of the race.
So let's talk about the pit stop. It looked like you came in with the race lead there, but he ended up beating you off of pit road. Looked like you had about a 6 or 7 seconds slower pit stop. What happened there?
Well, I had a little bit of optional repairs. It was about 6 seconds, and decided to take them to make the car just a little better, so that the car can be able to have fully be 100% healthy, I guess I should say, or 100% repaired.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. We were wondering if maybe you ended up taking tires and handwork didn't, but that explains it for us there. But nonetheless, it came down to the wire there at the end. Great battle between you two there in the last 10 minutes or so. It was looking like it was going to be a good scrap, and it was all the way up to the end there. We saw you go down the back straight, go to the outside there, down into turn 10, and it was going to be a battle of who was going to break the latest. And looks like you won that battle as Handwork wasn't able to make the corner. You made it by, ran off into the race lead, and with the race victory here tonight. And that is what matters here. I apologize. I don't know how how many wins do you have in the GT3 series?
Counting total, it's just three. Two the endurance and one is the sprint race, I believe.
Gotcha. Well, having a great season so far as you came into tonight in the points lead. Second place, actually, your teammate, I believe, Nick Nickerson, didn't make it tonight. So we can expect you to pull away with an even larger points lead after tonight. So congratulations on that as we head into the final 2 rounds. Looking like you have a very good shot here at taking home the championship. But again, congratulations here on the win. While you're here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Of course, I gotta thank the family for cheering me on and saying keep your head up after that sprint race mistake I did of not having fuel or not having enough fuel. And thank you for the broadcast. Keep it up as always, and the league that everybody participates in.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on another victory here tonight. And as you head into the final 2 rounds with a healthy points lead, we are rooting for you. And hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you next week in Victory Lane again.
Yes, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it there for our race winner, Mason Smith. And that's also going to wrap up round 8 here in the Core GT3 Road to Rio Challenge Series. As you can see, only 2 rounds remaining after tonight. We head to Monza next week, and then the finale will be in Brazil there 2 weeks from now. And it is exciting. Tight points all the way around there, especially in the midfield. So you're going to want to tune in for that. And we can expect Monza to be a great track. Very, very fast track. Heavy drafting zones. And it'll be interesting. Might be another great fuel strategy race there. Who knows? So thank you all for tuning in here at Soap Tires Broadcasting. That's going to do it here for round 8 of the Core GT3 series. And as always, we hope to catch you back next week.